We're going to have a guest on today, Jay Morrison. Jay Morrison is going to come in, and he's going to talk about, just an ordeal that he's been through. A lot of you have seen some of it. There was a thing between him and a guy named Tony the Closer. I guess a business deal gone bad. Well, instead of taking it to court, which I think would have been the right solution, they took, Tony kind of took it to the streets, and it got messy, and it got real inappropriate. It got real inappropriate, disrespectful, kind of chaotic and crazy. And at that same time, Jay's wife was giving birth to their child, which to me, I just think that there have to be lines drawn in terms of how we do business and what we define as appropriate behavior. And so anyway, Jay did what an intelligent black man would do. He took it to court. He sued the other parties for defamation. And it was a big lawsuit. Everything's public. All the information's out there. Everything's revealed. And he won the lawsuit. And I don't know what the damages are. I don't know how much money is involved at this point. But I do know that it's that there are some restraining orders in place. Things that basically say gag orders or whatever you want to call it. And I was kind of happy to see it get resolved that way, because I think that there are people who feel that they can just, go to the internet and say anything about anybody and just make stuff up, and I've seen it. I've gone through it. I've gone through people saying, oh, Boyce is a scammer and Boyce is this, Boyce. I'm like, what evidence do you have? And sometimes these will be people that I did business with where I put money in their pocket. I took good care of them. And then when I told them I'm not interested anymore because I saw some behavior that disturbed me, suddenly it's like, oh, Dr. Boyce is a fraud. Dr. Boyce is a scammer. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, what do you do with that? Like, I'm just not, I told you guys, I don't mind being on the internet, but I don't want to participate on the nigga net. I don't want to do the nigga net. The nigga net is this place where you got 45-year-old teenagers, acting a fool, people slandering each other and just saying any ridiculous thing they could say to get some YouTube views. And I don't participate in any of that. And I told you all back in 2017, about 4 or 5 years ago, I told you guys that I basically I'm not going to fight with black people on the internet. I'm grown. I want to be a grown man. And so Jay took it to court. He didn't go and try to, yell his way out of it. He sued and he won the lawsuit. And all the information is available, and I encourage everybody to take a look. And Jay's supposed to be coming in a minute, and when he comes in, I'm gonna let him do the speaking for himself. And I'll just say, some of this stuff in our community, I can't explain it. I'm not gonna say that these are necessarily bad people. It's just different culture. Like, so for example, there's a guy who says something about, I sued Dr. Boyce for being a simp and I won my case. Ha ha ha. That to me just says that this guy's either stupid or he's like probably under the age of 30. I mean, in that case, I forgive you for being young and dumb. Like, I'm 51. I'm not gonna respond to somebody who calls me a simp because I love a black woman. Well, I just look at that and I say, what is wrong with you? I got married to my wife, and I had this small percentage of black men who said, oh, that's simping. I'm like, you are really a loser, dude. Like, if you're running around letting other men tell you how to be a man, then you ain't no man. Like, what are you doing? You taking it in the butt from somebody or something? Because you don't sound like no man to me. Because to me, a man does what he's going to do, and I think in general, that kind of immaturity, I don't know where it comes from. I don't know if it's just miserable people sitting in their mama's basement just deciding to troll on the internet, or if it's just people who are just lost. There's a lot of lost people in our community. Y'all know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of lost people. And, but at the same time, there are lots of people who have found their way. There are a lot of people who found their way. And I really encourage those who found your way to lead the way. Lead the way means you grab the people that get it and you lead them to a better place. You lead them to a smarter position. You lead them to be in a position where they're going to win. Let's see, your class last night is going to be a game changer for me and my family. Good. I hope you enjoyed the class last night. We are digging deep. I'm showing everybody some techniques that I discovered on how to generate income consistently by selling stock options. It has been awesome. It will put big money in your pocket. I know it puts money in my pocket. I do it every day. I invest with my whole family now. Like, I got my whole family on board, and it's because I believe in it. I really believe in it. Nothing's risk free, but at the same time, it's it's something that I'm really excited about. Like I was super excited to teach that first night of the class, and we still have 3 more classes. And so the link's in the bio if you want to join the cover call program. It's now the full price is $6.99 now. It was discounted up until the date the class opened. After the enrollment date, the late registration fee is a total of $6.99, but you get everything for life. It's yours for life. And there are programs out here that charge thousands of dollars that don't give a direct pathway to making money. Like this is clear. Like by the time you're done, if you have a little bit of money to invest, I can show you exactly how to turn that into money. So that's what it is. So let's see. If somebody says Jay's a scammer, why do you support a known scammer? That's the thing. Like when you say that, you don't have any proof, and that's the problem. People will just run with that. He's a scammer. He's a scammer. I didn't see any proof of that. I mean, if you have any trouble accessing the class, email support@theblackbusinessschool.com. We got a whole support team waiting for you. Just email support@theblackbusinessschool.com. When you log right into the class, the link is right there to join the Zoom. It's right there. There was 400, 500 people in the class last night. So if you had trouble accessing it, it's an easy fix. Also, the recordings are available. They're yours for life. All the slides are yours for life. We have bonus materials that are yours for life. So email the support team. Anybody that ever has a question about the Black Business School, email support@theblackbusinessschool.com. I just want to make sure I take care of that. But yeah, I just kind of think, like I invested with the Tulsa Fund. I have been to the Black House. I got an office in the Black House, and I specifically got it for 2 reasons. 2 reasons I got an office in the Black House. And I guess Jay's coming in here in a second. 2 reasons I got an office in the Black House. One was because I wanted to support Jay and his family. I knew what him and his wife were going through. I don't know if anybody's ever been pregnant before, but the amount of stress that was put on that pregnant woman was sad. I mean, it was just sad. You don't do that to a woman that's about to have a baby. That's just messed up. The second, so I wanted to support him because I've done business with him and it's been fine, But then 2, I got an office in the Black House because that's where it's happening. Like the next generation of the Black community is being built in Atlanta, and it's being built by the people that are hanging out at the Black House. Rizza Islam was down there. He sold out the space. A lot of good people go down to the Black House, and they're making movies, and it's not Tyler Perry movies, not movies with, it's easy for Tyler to make $1 billion. All he's got to do is put that dress on. They're making content that I think is really extraordinarily good. And my daughter's an actress, and I want my daughter to be around seasoned actors and actresses. And so long story short, I wanted to be down there because I feel like that's like what the Harlem Renaissance was to the 1920s, 1930s. I feel like that Black House space, that's what that is for our generation. I said, I want to be down there. I want to be a part of it. I want to support it. I wrote a check to be part of the Tulsa Fund. I put in $10,000 because I saw Nipsey Hussle put in $10,000 before he died. I just said, when Nipsey said it, I got inspired. I said, I'm going to put $10,000 up too, and I was happy to see them raise the money. Now, here's the thing. One people need to understand is, now, how do you purchase the options course? If you want to sign up for anything like that, just click the link in the bio, and there's a link right there where you can go take a look at it. So thank you, Brad, for asking about it. You'll enjoy the class. It's a great class. But the thing about it is I need y'all to understand what investing really looks like. And some people don't understand that. When I invested in the Tulsa Fund, yeah, I got a check. I got a dividend check. But I don't even know if I cashed it. I didn't pay attention because I didn't invest in the Tulsa Fund because I was trying to make money. I invest in hundreds of companies, and some of them lose money. I invested in a Chinese company that lost me a lot of money. Let me just say it was a lot. It was one of the worst investments ever because the Chinese government stepped in and literally killed the entire industry. I lost the money. That's how the game is played. You don't invest if you're not prepared to sometimes lose money. It's like if you go outside, the weather, it's going to rain sometimes when you go outside. It's not going to be sunny all the time. So some people, I think, didn't understand what investing looks like. Real estate is slow. You don't get these quick flips. This is not gambling. Also, remember, the pandemic hit. The pandemic pretty much killed the Black House and a lot of their ability to make revenue. A lot of that died because of the pandemic. And so, I saw it as a community effort to build something pretty awesome. I mean, if you haven't been to the Black House and your spirit is right, like if you really have a good spirit and you really want to know what's going on and you really want to see for yourself, go to Atlanta and visit the Black House. They have activities every single day. They bring in black boys who don't have fathers every Saturday. And you know that those boys need mentorship, and they mentor them with grown ass men that tell them how to be a man. That is an investment in the community that money can't buy. I was part of it. I was touched by it. I loved it. I just really wish. I get it. I understand. Everybody isn't gonna love it, right? And that's the way business works. If you don't love it, then don't put a nickel in it. If you don't love it, walk away. If it's not your thing, go do something else. But if you're gonna harass somebody, go harass the people who make Popeye's chicken. They make $6 billion a year in the black community. Jay's fund was about $10 million. Popeye's annual revenue is probably about 600 times bigger than the Tulsa Fund. The amount of money that they make off black folks is hundreds of times larger than Jay or any of these small black businesses that are out here. So this idea, this sort of like, I'm going to go get the black guy as opposed to the big white guy who's really taking away the big bag, is kind of weird to me. Like I invested because I wanted to do the right thing and support. I didn't invest because I'm like, oh, this is going to be my big break. This is going to make me my big money. No, I got other things I do that make more money. I didn't expect the Tulsa Fund to make a lot. When I went and saw the Black House, I said, okay, I got my money's worth. I got a brick in the Black House, got my little name on it. I was one of the founders of it, and I'm very proud of it. And am I speaking as a friend to Jay? Yes, I am. I am speaking as his friend. And believe me, there are people out here on the internet right now who call me a scammer and call me a terrible person. And these people, I thought they were going to be my friends. And I saw inappropriate behavior. I saw them harming other people. There are people that in this space, in the black internet space, I don't talk about it. I don't do a chatty patty. If I got something to deal with you, I'm going to take you to court. There are people in this little space whose names I can name right now who have borrowed thousands of dollars from me, who came to me with some sort of trauma, or some difficult sob story, or some tough situation, and made all these promises. I loaned them the money, and they didn't pay me back. They paid me a little bit back. This one particular person I'm thinking about, she paid me a little bit back, and then didn't pay anything else. And you're not going to hear me go on the internet try to destroy what she's got going on. It is what it is. It's life. I learned the hard way. Don't go around loaning money to people. Whatever. It broke my heart, made me sad. But to me, I'm trying to think about the bigger picture. The bigger picture is that I want us to win. If there's something I don't like, I don't go out of my way to try to destroy it. That's my point. Believe me, there's a whole lot of stuff going on the internet that I don't like. I see people destroying black relationships by giving black men and black women terrible advice. I'm not going to go destroy that. I'll just say, well, here's another point of view. Like for example, when Kevin Samuels was around, I didn't dislike everything Kevin said. I liked some of what he said. But I said, no, you shouldn't be telling black women they're going to die alone. You're hurting people's feelings. I don't care if you think you're right. I don't care if you think you're helping them. That's not helping. If you can help them in a different way, you can help by being supportive and loving and understanding of what they're going through, as opposed to saying, you're going to die alone because you didn't listen to me. And now he died alone. And it's kind of ironic because it reminds black men who are logical that you can die alone too. Your ass could be sitting up in the damn stroke ward with nobody coming to see you. You've been a player. You're 58 years old, living like you're 28. And next thing you know, your body has not kept up with where your mind is at. You think you're still 28. Your body's like, no, nigga, you're 30. Excuse my French. No, Negro, you are 30. You are 60 years old. You're not a kid anymore. And next thing you know, you're in the hospital and ain't nobody there to come check on you. Ain't nobody there to pick you up. Don't nobody care about you or whatever. I got married in my 40s, not in my 20s or 30s, because I did have fun. I lived my life. But when I got 45, I said, I need to start making a plan for the next stage of my life. and that's the thing about life, that you can't win if you don't have a plan. If you don't plan, I see so many people who don't plan for nothing. And then when everything goes haywire, they cry about it. They just said, oh, it's so hard to be black. So, no, like I knew you when you were 25 and I told you to make a plan for your life and you never planned anything. I had an uncle like that. I was real close to him. Never planned shit. Didn't save a nickel. Didn't educate himself. Didn't do nothing right in his life. Kept going in and out of jail. Just, didn't even try to improve his life. And then when he gets about 40, what was he about, maybe 44, 45, he got in an accident and he got paralyzed from the waist down. And he had no insurance. He was blind in one eye. And I said, man, I knew you when you were young and healthy. And he was whining about it, asking me for money and everything else. I said, man, I'll do what I can, but I knew you when you were young and healthy. I knew you when you could dunk a basketball. I knew you when you was had the ladies, when you was out here doing whatever you wanted. Now you can't do nothing. Now you sitting up here in this damn hospital, no insurance. You didn't take the time to make a plan for your life, man. Black man, you need to have a plan. If you ain't got no plan, you're going to lose. And ladies, if you marry a man who ain't got a plan, you're going to lose. And same thing, fellas. If you with a woman who can't support the plan or don't have a plan of her own, you're going to lose. Stay away from losers. Pick winners. All right, so I see Jay in here. Let me bring you in, Jay. I'm sorry, man. The internet's out in Canada. I did not know that. But let me pull Jay in. Now I see him, man. Give me 1 second, bro. Hold on. There we go. So let's see if I can get Jay in here. What do I think about Elon Musk? I think I told you guys a long time ago, Elon Musk wasn't going to buy Twitter. I mentioned that to you. So
Big bro.
Yeah, there you go. What's up, man? How you doing?
Amazing.
Yeah. Okay.
How are you?
Yeah, man. You know, we've been chopping it up, warming everything up to get ready for your arrival, man. First off, congratulations on the big win. How does it feel?
First off, thank God for favoring me and dealing with my enemies and honoring what he told me he would do. That's the first off. Somebody just said I didn't win, but I did. I actually did.
Yeah,
my God versus my enemies. So I give glory to God. It's nothing I did, but I want to hop right into this. I got a testimony to tell. Out of the last 4 years of my life, I had an 18-month SEC and FBI investigation. Real black man, y'all. I'm not an internet figure. I'm a real black man like y'all. Your cousin Jay, right? Your brother Jay, your uncle Jay. Real black man who really raised money with the community the right way. With 3 years, independent audits, no irregularities. The right way, transparency, the right way. Real black house in Atlanta, like real black man. Real 65 corner classes, real 34 cities, real hip-hop to homeowners, real 4 books, real J. Morrison Academy 10 years, real Inc. 500, real Georgia Senate Ambassador, real Georgia 2022 Citizen of the Year, real black man, father, Ernestine's husband, father of 3 daughters, real black man, yo, your cousin Jay, not an internet figure. Your cousin Jay fighting for our community, real frontline in Baltimore during the uprising, real frontline with Alfred Sterling down in Louisiana. Real frontline when Alfred Wright was lynched in Himpville, Texas. Real frontline when Jameer Robinson was murdered down here and shot 76 times by cops. Real frontline Jay, your brother. Like, not an internet figure. Went through an 18-month Department of Justice, FBI, and Security and Exchange Commission SEC investigation for 18 months of his life as a former 3-time felon, thinking the government's about to get me. I'm done. They garbaged me. Thinking like, oh snap, my legacy is gone. I know they're gonna do some okie doke. Everybody gonna say, aha, he was scamming, and they're gonna write me off like Garvey with all my good intentions, all my good heart, and all my good work, and they're gonna ruin my legacy, and the government got me. But the government didn't get me. God had grace and favor on my life, and my integrity stood out in both the Department of Justice of the United States of America, the SEC of the United States of America, the FBI of the United States of America, all said through 50,000 emails, 18-month investigation, over 300,000 in lawyer fees, tax returns, financial documents, compliance documents, and all that. They all said no findings. In that 18 months, for 6 months later, to get an online troll community to say he's still scamming, he stole from this guy, he stole from that guy, and go through a 2-year back-to-back now with clout chasers and clowns doing a lawsuit where my attorney said, you can't say nothing. That's not how big boys and bosses do business during lawsuits. You can't say anything during your lawsuit because anything you say during your lawsuit can be held against you in the court of law. Genius. I had to sit on my hands for 2 years while a man trashed our fund, the fund you're a part of, your family owns equity in. Trashed our fund, trashed my family name, that good old Morrison name, trashed it. And everybody snickered, put smut on my name. And I couldn't do anything about it because God said I couldn't do anything physically. And my lawyer said I couldn't do anything online or otherwise. And the grown man in me didn't want to go back and forth with another grown man online. I don't do that. I'm from Somerville, New Jersey. I'm not from Moxville, North Carolina. We don't do that. So for 4 years of my life, I went through all these investigations, King, and all this scrutiny. And I just closed the closer. We just won a defamation suit that has not only a default judgment against his deceptive business practices, against the defamation on my name, on my wife's name, our company name, Tulsa Real Estate Fund, Jay Morrison. We won the case again. So the campaign I'm clearing my family name. All y'all online and otherwise, I could not say anything for the last 2 years. Y'all thought I was soft for something else. And I don't mean physically in the streets gangster, but I am spiritually gangster. My God is thorough. You mess with God's man, we got something for you.
Well, you know what's funny, man, is a lot of people don't know, you know, when I first met you, I remember the second conversation we had. Now, the first one we had was cool. It was like, how you doing? You know, nice to meet you. And I appreciated you reaching out. And I was impressed with your intelligence. I do remember that. But then the second conversation was when you told me about the fund. That was when I was in Guyana, 2017. And I went and I talked to Alicia. You and I talked to over an hour. And I went to Alicia and I said, I asked him a lot of really hard questions because I wasn't, you know, because I'm just you gotta be naturally skeptical, you know, because everybody's got, you know, these big grand ideas and they're going to change the whole black community and do millions of dollars and all that. And you're like, yeah. So I was just asking, and I said, I asked him a lot of questions and he really dotted his I's and, you know, crossed his T's. Like this guy's really thorough. This was when you were this guy, you know what I mean? Now you're my friend, now you're my boy. But back then it was like, oh yeah, this guy Jay, okay, I'm really impressed. I don't know his background, you know, but I know intelligence, you know, because I taught college students, right? You could tell smart ones from the dumb ones. I said, this dude is sharp, you know, and it's like to see you did execute on the Tulsa Fund and achieve that, you know, just do something nobody's ever done. It's historic. I was proud, very proud, man, and proud to be a part of it. And right. What I really want people to kind of understand is I hope that we can get to the point, though, where a black man or black woman does not have to be perfect in order to do business. You know, if I run into businesses all the time that, you know, well, they didn't necessarily do anything illegal, but they just kind of pissed me off or didn't do something at the standard I hope. And I just walk away. I don't make it my mission to destroy the business and say, you know, so even if you have made mistakes, which if you're a business, I mean,
hold on, but I want to cut you. I want to put some clarity and correct you a little bit. I do want to cut you off. Because it's not the fund members who are on this mission to say, I don't like this business I'm a part of. It's outsiders who don't even have any interest in the company who are stirring up mischief in the company.
Yeah.
Every single one who's trolled me online were not a TREF partner and investor. They're stirring the pot with our investors who may not know all the finances and drawing conclusions and points for them that aren't necessarily true. So it's different if you're actually an investor and you're going hard because you're mad at the company you're a part of and it wasn't customer service like you wanted. It's not even those people. Out of 15,000 members, we still retained over 14,000 members in 4 years. It's not fun. The guy I just beat in the suit, the guy who my guy just demolished and closed, the guy that just has the sanctions now, a default judgment that has to pay my legal fees, our legal fees, Tulsa legal fees, has to pay damages to our fund ×3. North Carolina law is triple, plus interest. The guy that has to pay all that to our company and fund was not even a member of our company. So it wasn't a disgruntled customer. He just played the game on the $500 investors who believed in a vision and believed in a guy and said, yo, that guy's a bad guy. Look at y'all. Did y'all get enough yet? Ooh, let me play on your fears and stir you up. No refunds, no peace. Everybody asked for money back from the fund. So told everybody asked for money back from the fund and gassed them up. That's less capital that we have to lend to back to our own people. He's messing up the group economics. He's throwing a clog in the wheel. Those damages he's going to pay dearly and triply, plus interest.
I love it.
That's what's going on here. And I'm sorry for yelling on your live. I know y'all say I'm hyped. Y'all understand I'm a black man as a family, and I couldn't defend my family for 2 years.
Well, you know, and I think also what I really saw, what really, you know, made my wife and I really say, you know, we just decided, I said, I'm gonna make it real clear that I'm aligned with you, not just because of what I've seen in terms of doing business with you personally, but also because, I knew that your wife was having a baby at the time, man. And I just feel that there's just boundaries, and I get it. There's business disputes that happen all the time. It happens, and there's a way you're supposed to handle it. If we all get involved in business disputes. I've been in situations where I felt like somebody screwed me over. I'm not gonna go and throw temper tantrums on the internet. I'm gonna go to court. I'm gonna call a lawyer. Let's sue him, or I have to walk away. I won't do business with him anymore. I mean, and it's interesting. It's almost just really a cultural thing though, because I can just think of a one or two people on the internet that have been what's the word? Just had a vendetta. Like
Great
I
word.
tell how terrible voice is, and I'm sitting there thinking, if people really knew all the raggedy shit you did behind closed doors, it would change the whole narrative. But I'm just gonna operate up here. I'm not trying to get down in the dirt, because it takes something away from your ability to really get things done. And the Black House, y'all show me any other places out here that are doing what the Black House is doing. Tell us about the Black House and some other things you've done with the fund. That's what impresses the hell out of me.
Yeah, I mean, we got to with the Black House first, our largest asset, but it's the Black House in Black Mecca, a 2.6-acre campus, 30,000 square foot media space, event space, community empowerment space that we've done everything from incubate businesses, lend capital fund. We've deployed over 8.7 million, I think almost over $9 million of capital to the Black community, like deployed, funded Black developments and investors, like Black women on 14 units, 7 units, Black men on bundle mortgages, land, all of that. We've loaned out capital to Black partnerships. We've also have our Big Brother Anonymous mentorship program. We mentor young men ages 12 to 24. We're partnered with Obama Foundation. And we mentor young men for over the last 2 years, giving them life skills, mental health, expungement of records, right? We're taking them fishing on August 6th. We have a big fishing retreat.
Nice.
Right? Multiple empowerment classes, media events. We've hosted birthday parties, repasses, community days, family days, food giveaways, like real community work, like real physical asset, not just like internet stuff.
Well, and I would almost say that if somebody has an issue with you and what's being done here, I would advise them to do a couple of things. One,
do a fund.
You ain't got to be involved. Was that again?
Do a fund.
What I would tell them is, look, you can walk away, either do your own thing or do nothing. Just walk away. You're right. You ain't got to be here. But then two, if you really don't like Jay, then outdo him. That's right. Like, people were surprised. They were like, well, boys, why won't you go talk to this person and hear that person? I'm like, because they ain't doing nothing. I've seen Jay's stuff. I went to the Black House. I've seen the work. I've talked to you and I made a plan. Let's do this on Tuesday. Let me see what you got done on that. And I've seen you complete things. That's the thing. People don't understand. We have this weird segment of our culture where there's a lot of yapping, and it gets on my nerves. It's like, stop talking. We're gonna be dead one day. I don't want to spend my whole life talking about what we're gonna do. I need to see tangible results. So to me, if somebody really wants to set themselves up as a competitor to you or me or anybody, build something better, right? Build a better fund, right? And people can't do that. It's like, because it's easier to destroy than it is to build. And that's why.
It's easier to do. And you know what? If you learn how to destroy somebody else and use that person's name and credibility and clout to draw attention to yourself and then funnel that into your own revenue, now destroying is a business model. Yeah. I can destroy another brand, draw attention to my brand, because even destruction and negativity is energy. So I'm going to put negative energy out, and I'm going to attract all the negative energy people, and the negative energy people are going to buy my negative energy products and courses and programs.
And that's really, now here's the thing about that, right? I thought about that, and I realized that even though we know in this situation, I feel like it went way over the line, right? But some of it I understand. And that's because that's been the way that, the Democrats get more power because they can sit around and talk about how much they hate the Republicans, and then vice versa, right? Batman he creates the Joker, right? And all his followers, right? So you're naturally going to have the yin and the yang, right? And I know I met this lady who's she's a white feminist, and she has one of the most popular podcasts on YouTube, or not YouTube, I'm sorry, Apple. And all she does is sit around and give financial advice that is anti-Dave Ramsey. So she built her whole model off of, I hate Dave Ramsey because he's an old white male patriarch and we're young feminists and F him, you know, and people follow off of that, right? So that part I almost understand. And I think that the thing is that there's a way to do that without crossing certain lines. Just,
well, you know. Thing. I agree with your point, right? For somebody that's a dignified person, a business professional, somebody's professional etiquette and courtesy, and we ain't talking about that. But a deeper point is spiritually. When you're a man of God and you're a light, you're gonna attract. Who's the author of deceit, of confusion, of division? Do I practice division? Can anyone look at me and say, I practice division? I don't practice division. I literally practice unification.
Yeah.
So who's the author of division? Right? Confusion, deceit, negativity. Who's the author of that? That's not my God. How about this? I try to be so aligned with God so much that even after this man called my wife bitches, even after he mocked my daughter while she was in the hospital getting brain surgery, even after he said on a megaphone that my wife could put whatever in her mouth, even after all that, during mediation, I was doing spiritual mentorship, and my bishop was saying more how I got to lose my ego and lose my way and find God's way and all of that. And the fact that I'm an inspiration to a lot of young men who are traumatized, and they look at me as a father figure and big brother figure. And sometimes when they do whack shit and I say, yo, we got to distance ourselves, they are really hurt by that. So they lash back out me. My big brother, my father, just daddy issues. My daddy, my big homie, just stiff-armed me because I act a little niggerish. And now it's like I got a real deep hurt issue with Jay, right? So realizing that I could have been harsh, because I am very, I'm really tough on men. I'm a man's man. And when you do goofy stuff as a man, I'm like, that's how I was raised up. My dad was tough on me, right? Yep. So sometimes I'm tough on men, not scammy, not fraudy, not all of that. I'm just tough. Like, bro, like, we don't do goofy stuff. We men around here. We wear belts with our jeans. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't wear loops in our pants without belts. We don't do certain stuff. Like, we don't have man principle. And when I do, so in thinking that I could have potentially not showed him enough compassion, knowing that he was very sensitive to the 5 domestic violence accusations he's had against him and those kind of things, and knowing those things kind of rubbed him, whatever, right? So I apologized during our mediation to him. After he respected my family name, smeared me, cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars and all of that, I still was like, King, I want to say this beginning of mediation. I said, I want to say this. You're wrong for what you have done. But if I have wronged you and I wasn't compassionate enough with you in the phase that we were in mentorship, I want to apologize for not being cognizant enough and not thinking and caring about you enough during that time. This is me during mediation, King. After his man had already protested in front of our crib before we moved in and did the Black House protest and all the wild stuff.
Wow.
I'm just trying to get closer to my God. That's my priority.
That's right.
So I had to think about even my wrong, or even where I can grow greater and closer in that, while still hold him accountable and all of that. Just saying, try to say, my light shines. So someone that's just broken and cracked, such a whatever going on with bro, or all the other kind of people, we're traumatized. You know our trauma. So when they see a light in our community, like, oh, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? And the light doesn't accept them, that can make them feel rejected by the light. So now I hate the light. So that's all you gotta do is just put a clean cup next to a dirty glass. I think Elijah Muhammad said that. Put a clean glass next to a dirty glass. Y'all, people could paint a picture of me if you want. Just look at my light. Look at me. Judge me by my fruit. The man or woman who judges me, look at their fruit, and then judge my fruit.
Wow. Well, you know, man, I think that what's interesting to me is when we get into these spaces and Black men are forced to prove that we're just good people, you know, and I honestly gave up trying to prove I'm a good person. I say, you know what, just evaluate me based on my actions, what you see from me day to day. I'm in there in the trenches with my audience every single
what you produce. You judge a man by his fruit, what he produce.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just say, look, if somebody told you I was asshole of the year, then okay. Then let's see. Let's hang out with boys for a while. I want you to listen to me, and after a few times, you'll get a clear view of who I am, the flawed individual that I am, but the determined man that I am. I don't see myself. I am never. Man, what you went through, that's a nightmare, dude. I mean, the federal investigation, then that other chaos, and then the Tulsa Fund. 14,000 investors, man. I mean, that just makes my head hurt dealing with that many people, that many personalities, that many, So I say he's better than me. I don't know that's not, so I thought it was remarkable what you did. And I invested in the fund because I love the fact that I get to go see the Black House now. It's like, yeah, we did this together. Black people, we built something that's awesome. It's like our own little university and our film studio and all these great things, man. Like that's all. I mean, and I come from a background where, as faculty members, we would try to go and get jobs at a white man's institution. So when I got that office next to yours in the Black House, I said, look at this. We built our own damn university, and I got an office right next to the president. And we are out here changing lives. We getting it done. As imperfect as I know I'm always gonna be. I'm never gonna.
Me too.
That standard, right? And that's the other thing about business. I think people should learn. Like, you're not gonna. White people mess up on the epic level. Like, they do crazy things in business. But with guys like yourself that are doing things for the first time, it's like you have to walk on the damn tightrope. Any little thing that they say, oh, we did this wrong or that wrong, that people make it into more than what it is.
I don't anymore. I'm don't anymore. I'm released from that. I gave everybody that. I'm released. This is about clearing my name. Like, yo, the hell, like, listen, if you haven't done it, haven't attempted to do it, no, you can't do it. But if you haven't been through the 4-year journey that I've been through of fund management, through all of this, and effort to figure out something for our people, not a money play for me, to figure out how we practice group economics for the largest we've done since Marcus Garvey. That's facts. These are real facts. And you want to just spend your time scrutinizing that, you not taking my piece. And that's why this is a culminating moment, because the biggest naysayer was not even a Tulsa Real Estate Fund manager, but who leveraged the exposure of having a fund of 14,000, 15,000 partners. He leveraged that to find cracks, and it caused division. That person was just hit with a judgment, a default judgment, and the damages aren't in yet. But we just won our defamation slander suit, and we sued him for deceptive business practices, and we sued him for the defamation. He didn't sue us. We sued him for slandering our fund, defaming our fund, and we won, period. So everyone be clear. I want to make sure you don't get lost in all Dr. Boyce and I logic. Jay Morrison, someone went out on a heavy campaign for 2 years, over 120 posts about me. My team has documented them all. Over 120 Instagram posts, multiple podcasts, multiple IG lives, all about me. His page right now, I'm pinned to the top, me. He sold his courses and his programs talking about me and Treff. And I said, Guy, you can't keep defaming my family name like that. I'm going to get you. I can't get you in the street. I can't get you online going back and forth like a clown, but I'm going to get you in court. And I hawked him down for 2 years. He didn't sue me. Let's be clear. We went after him for defaming our brand equity and our brand name and our good Morrison name, our good Tulsa Real Estate Fund name, and we won.
Well, man, and I'm gonna tell you, I think in general, I just think it's, for black men who care, I would just encourage us. We got to have some kind of code of just how we handle shit, man. I don't want to be, man. I'm 51 now. I don't want to be with people on the internet.
Bro, how does that sound?
I didn't have when I was 30.
50-year-old man and a 40-something-year-old man and a 30-year-old man going back and forth. How does that sound? When other cultures are running whole countries at the same age, they're running whole countries.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't look good. You know, and in fact, it reminds me, you know, of the whole debate over Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. You know, I just remember saying that, you know, people like, you can't tell me Will Smith couldn't find another way to handle that. You Will Smith, you got 1,000 different options, a ton of levers you could have pulled, but you had to walk up there and do that. Like, really, like, take it back to the playground stuff, you know, and it didn't work. You know, like, keep my wife's name out your mouth. Now everybody's talking about your wife. So obviously it wasn't even an effective solution, let alone what it did to his career. And so I really think in general, we have to really take seriously our role as the OGs in the community, the role models in the community, and lead by example. You still fight your battles, you still go to war, but you go to war with this. You ain't got to always go to war like this or like this, you know, yipping, yapping back and forth. Be strategic, be strong, you know, and I think that we lose that. I feel like there's something, I don't know if it was what the whole hip hop thing kind of did, you know, to really keep the black man as a child, you know, and that's the problem. Even Jay-Z, if you remember when Jay-Z said, I don't want to wear jerseys no more, I want to wear suits and ties like a grown up.
Well,
and they were like, no.
Up.
So now you got some of these artists that 45, 50 years old still trying to look like they're teenagers, look like they're 25. You're not 25 anymore. You know, like when do you grow up? You know, and I think we need space for that, man. So I applaud you for just, you know, handle like a grown up. You know, lawsuits happen all the time in business. Disputes happen all the time. You deal with it. You work. Elon Musk is probably involved in 20 or 30 lawsuits at any given time. You know, so a lawsuit is not the end of the world. It's not necessarily always a huge deal. It's just something you deal with in the course of business, and then you keep it moving.
Yeah, it's very expensive. It's very time consuming. It's very burdensome, especially unnecessary ones when you're trying to do something positive for the people. But you're right. It's part of business, man. It's part of life.
Yeah.
I think the greater point is for us to also understand, and for this to be an example, you just can't troll, everybody. You can't just slander everybody. Like, you just can't get that off. And it's going to cost. And for him, it's going to cost. And for me, I'm just not going to let y'all keep playing with my name. It's my family name. It's my legacy. And we're done with that. So.
Well, you know, man, I'm glad you won the suit, man. I'm glad your family's good. And I think in general, what also, you know, has to be understood overall is, even if you're doing something good, you know, when I read stories about history of other people that tried to do things that were contributions to humanity or whatever the case may be, they always had, you know, adversaries. They always had enemies. You know what happened with Garvey and Du Bois and all these people that were trying to take him down, you know, and what I realize is that when you're really trying to do that work, you know, your definition of God's work, you're gonna have people that are gonna require you to pull out your sword. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't gonna be like everybody's gonna get it and support it. And in many cases, some get so unlucky that literally label you as the exact opposite of what you actually are. You know, and so that's where really the core of your spirit comes into play in terms of you really remembering and knowing who you are and being ready to fight for that cause. You know, I think about even when, you know, times where you know, people like Farrakhan and others, where they would be literally hated by the very people they were trying to help.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to be committed, man. Because sometimes I'll be like, man, well, if you can't appreciate what I'm doing, then to hell with you. You know?
You gotta take up your cross, man, your burden, and you know, there's just seasons. And for me right now, it's harvest season, and you know, God is showing Himself through me. Showing His power, showing His glory and His grace. So I'm just doing my best to be a vessel. I don't mind all the other stuff, but all what I do know is, you can say what, you know, anyone can type anything online. Like, literally, you can make a fake account right now. You can make a fake account, like get a Gmail, make a fake account. You can go troll somebody's page and say a bunch of stuff, like, real quick. Like, it's not that, there's no investment to do that. Right. But what we can say is that I persevered and endured 2 federal investigations, pointless investigations in my opinion, but perpetrated by all this online stuff, direct slander and attacks and campaigns, got through that and won. And I continue to produce fruit by God's grace and continue to love our people and continue to grow and evolve and let my light shine and stand up for my family and create legacy. I mean, if you're mad at that, I don't know.
Well, well, very happy for you, proud of you, and
Thank you.
I look forward to doing great work at the Black House, man.
Facts.
You know where I'm at with it, and it's a long road ahead, and a lot of great things you're gonna do, brother. So congratulations on everything.
I'm elated though. I'm happy, man. God showed up. God told me to sit on my hands for 2 years. Imagine 2 years just going through this and just, I didn't say much. I didn't do much. I just took the beating. And there's the river flow.
Well, good talking to you, man.
Love and support, bro. And good talking to you.
Yeah, appreciate you stopping in, brother. And thanks to everybody else. And we'll circle back around a little bit later.
Thank y'all for y'all support as well. Thank y'all. Be one.
Yes, be one. Peace.